Flowerhat. Polite bartering has led to extreme compassion and a surfeit of contentment in this area. Not even a thick-skinned troll could survive the understanding and help these scummy people can provide.
Welcome back to episode 4 of Dungeon Keeper. This time we're in Flowerhat, and it is probably one of the easiest of the levels that you'll ever see, mainly due to what you see in the bottom of the screen there. They're gems. For those who don't know, that's basically gold that doesn't destroy the block, so they'll be there forever, so it's just an infinite source of gold. Due to the nature of this level, the fact we're not up against a rival keeper, we're still only up against a set amount of heroes. What this means is that we can, if we really wanted to, we could completely turtle the level, just get whatever creatures come in, train them all the way to level 10 and then attack. Fairly boring doing that, also extremely time consuming. So just gonna get this over with and try and play in a slightly more standard way, but just putting it out there that it is possible just to turtle this level completely. Not saying it isn't possible to turtle future levels as well, because the AI on a lot of occasions in this game is fairly dim-witted, but it's very rarely the optimal strategy. I'm not saying that anything I do is optimal either, but I think it's probably better than sitting down turtling, at least in terms of time taken. What I'm doing is just creating as many imps as possible. I just want as many as possible on that gem seam at some point in time. Just building up the dungeon at this point. Again, building a library separate from the rest of the, well, kind of separate from the rest of the dungeon. It's just a habit I've got into. Just keeps the natives a bit happier. Doesn't really matter when in the early levels when I'm throwing sort of level 1 warlocks in there, etc. But once warlocks get above level 1, they start attacking anything that goes into the library that isn't a warlock. So just to make life easier for myself, I do tend to separate the library out from the rest of the dungeon just that little bit. Although on this level I violate that immediately, so never mind. Alright then, I'll pick up the gold. Honestly, can't get the staff these days.
You have tunneled into a new area.
Warning there that I've tunneled into a new area. That'd be oh, don't worry about that. That's the reason at the start of the level it said don't venture north. It said quote unquote powerful heroes lurk in the north, but that's only really when it comes down to the Lord of the Lands party. Everything else is level 1. So there's really nothing to be concerned about up there.
Your creatures are under attack.
Yeah, you do see that quite a bit in this level because imps are daft. Again, just standard build up. In a previous run through I did actually forget to connect the hatchery in the lair to the training room, so the creatures ended up having to run a marathon to get to either. Whoops. I'll put it down to having not played the game for ages, rather than just being stupid. Building a rather large training room here. The creature limit's capped at 20 on this level, plus there are a couple of secrets which allow you to get extra creatures, so a larger training room is required. But now all the space has been dug out. The imps can go nuts on the old gem seam.
entrance has been claimed.
Again, I'll be flushing creatures that I don't want this level, so that's flies and beetles for the most part. Build up a workshop because I do want a door to stop the imps running off into that area with the heroes. Should show you that at some point shortly. Yep, we've now got trolls. They're the game's resident builders of stuff. Stick the warlock in the library. And stick the troll to work on what will be a door. Just widening the treasure room here because I know for a fact that I will have to. In fact, this won't be enough either, but for now it'll do. But yeah, gem seams are pretty much overpowered in this game. It means that you can, since spells also cast gold to cast in this game, it just basically means that you can cast spells ad infinitum and just makes things extremely easy. Demon spawns come into level now, so just noticed my warlocks had stopped working for a minute then. It's basically because whenever something triggers and they haven't got it, so either a level up or when they're training or a spell's researched, if they haven't made a lair they go off to make one. Oop, beetle, not having any of that. Get it down the portal. They have a potential use later in the game, but not at this point.
A door has been manufactured.
And that's our first door. Wooden one, completely useless for the most part, but it does at least stop your creatures.
Spell has been researched.
It does at least stop your creatures who wander, wandering into trouble. The two archers up there will basically make life a problem for the imps. There's the spell that's been researched. It's speed. Does exactly what it says on the tin. Just basically makes your makes whatever creature you cast it on do what they're doing a lot quicker. Some creatures have the ability to cast it on themselves when they get to a certain level. And overall really useful spell. Generally you use it for training or if you want something done really quickly. It's not a combat spell. It's
It is payday.
oh, and there's payday. Don't they know that with all this money I can't afford them? I mean, look at it, I'm a pauper. And again, a couple of them are off to find a home. Should have.
A new spell has been researched.
Okay, let's see what spell that is. Okay, that spell's Call to Arms. Basically cast it anywhere and your creatures will be attracted to it.
A trap has been manufactured.
The cost that you see associated to it's a per second jobby. If you cast it on your own turf it doesn't cost you anything, but if you cast it elsewhere it will drain your gold quite quickly, especially if you make it a massive call to arms. And the problem is usually you will end up casting it around your opponent's dungeon heart, trying to lead your creatures to it.
You need a big